Facts Only Boxing. So it's increasingly looking likely that May 5th might be off. Nothing official yet, and we always think they're just going to find a way to let Canelo off this one. But the more details that come out about May 5th, the more it really looks like it's hard to let the fight go on without having hella egg on the WBC and the Nevada State Athletic Commission's face. So they might be pressured. I mean, generally, one of Canelo's big problems is there's not been a public show of support from anyone. Like, no one stood by him, really, apart from the people that made money from him fighting. And everyone seemed to have come to the conclusion that he definitely did it. So it's not looking like a good look for him. Obviously, there's the fact that it was 2 tests he failed. Obviously, they're back-to-back, which is kind of deceptive. They're taken 3 days apart. So you fail one, you're probably going to fail the next one. So with that in mind, rumours been going around, obviously, when Billy Joe Saunders pulled out of his fight with Martin Murray, postponed it, that it was because Triple G needs an opponent, and Triple G says he's going to be fighting on May 5th anyway. So I started brainstorming. I started thinking, who could be match Triple G against on May 5th that would give us a good event, a good exhibition, still keep the sacred tradition of Cinco de Mayo alive, and just be a good night for boxing fans, because we got Hey Bellew over here and the stacked undercard. You know, I have it all planned out already. It's got to be like a 12-hour boxing marathon. So I still want to see Triple G fight on May 5th. But who to fight? I've ruled out a few people straight off the bat. Danny Jacobs, ruled him out. He's got a fight a couple of weeks before against Sulecki. It's his big HBO date. I don't think they'll be giving that up. They'll be looking for a full camp to fight Triple G again anyway. And I don't think Triple G would want, that fight made suddenly, because he's been in the ring with Jacobs. He arguably lost against Jacobs. He's not gonna, it suits neither party on May 5th. Also ruled out Jamal Charlo. That's the 160-pound Charlo, because he's fighting Centeno in the run-up to May 5th. I don't think he'll be available. Ruled out Lara. He's fighting Hurd. Ruled him out off the bat. Saddam Ali is not going up to 160, so I've ruled him out off the bat. But I've got a few interesting names, and I've got a few interesting takes on what kind of fight would get out of it. Now, at the top of my list, I'm ranking them in order of preference here. I want to see Jamal Charlo fight Triple G. Why? Jamal Charlo is available. Jamal Charlo's entertaining. Jamal Charlo will help the fight promotionally, because Triple G can only push a fight so much. He does need a dancing partner, and Jamal Charlo will give us the entertainment we need. He's in fighting shape, and he's like a recognizable challenger that would give us, a fight fitting for May 5th. I think that the tough thing is that negotiations would be really tough. The whole HBO Showtime, Al Heyman, the kind of mix of it makes it's not an easy thing to just get pen to paper and have everything sorted out to fight by May 5th. Do you know what I mean? So for that reason, I think it's a bit of a tough fight to make, but that'd be my number one. Close number two, Demetrius Andrade. He's available. He would take whatever money you pay him. He's been hunting for that big fight. Negotiations would be real easy. I just think the downside of it is that Triple G and his camp are not going to want to fight a fighter of that style, because it could significantly lower Triple G's stock if Demetrius Andrade fights like we know he's capable of doing. And it's just a tough outing. It's not one you easily walk into for pretty much no money, because what does Andrade bring to the table money-wise? Not a lot. He's not even well recognized. He's not a champion. He hasn't got a belt. For that reason, I put him second because it'll be interesting and he's available, and it's quite likely that he would be one of the top 3 names on their list if they've got one. So I'll put him on that list. I put third on my list, Billy Joe Saunders. Why? Because Billy Joe Saunders is an elite fighter. He's got a belt. That fight unifies the middleweight division, all 4 belts around the waist of one man, like the IFL TV adverts say. That would be great for the middleweight division. That just kind of puts a full stop on that. And if Triple G wins that, pretty much Canelo has to not beg his way back into a fight, but Triple G has elevated his status and it's not negotiating on the same terms anymore. If Canelo wants to stay in the 160-pound division, he's going to want a belt, and Triple G will have the market cornered in terms of belts, and that'll be the one. If not, Billy Joe Saunders will be the champion, and Billy Joe Saunders is no mug. You enter a negotiation with him, he's taking you for everything. Business stuff aside, Billy Joe Saunders is a top level fighter, and he can easily beat Triple G. Easily. He will give him a real tough fight. And even if Triple G wins, he's not necessarily going to look spectacular because Billy Joe Saunders is a very hard fighter to look good against. If you need to set your feet to get your shots off, you're not going to be able to do it against him. Too slick, too skilled, and he just has a winner's mentality where he'll go out there and do the job, get the win, and go home a happy man kind of thing. So I think Triple G would sidestep him for that reason. You don't want to fight Billy Joe Saunders off a short camp. Billy Joe Saunders doesn't really want to fight Triple G off a short camp. The fight is lined up anyway with the winner of Canelo and Triple G because it's the fight that makes sense after this one. Next on the list, who will I throw on there? I've got I've got two wild cards, and you got to listen carefully to see the appeal of these ones. I'm gonna rule out Dereviadenko. He's just not ready, and he hasn't got the pedigree or status to grace the May 5th stage like that. No, he's not ready. Ruled him out off the bat. But I've got two wild cards. One of which is Chris Eubank Jr. Okay, so by this time we know Chris Eubank Jr. is not who his dad thinks he is. He's not going to be an elite fighter, but he brings some entertainment value. He brings some UK money. He'll help you carry the promotion. He will fight in a pleasing style. He will make Triple G look good. Really, if you're stuck for opponents, you could do a lot worse than Chris Eubank Jr. I actually pretty much like that fight. That would be, in terms of something you're cobbling together with a few weeks out. That's come about because of an emergency with drug testing or whatever, or whatever random event brought you there. You could do a lot worse than Triple G and Eubank. Obviously, they have the history as well. I think it just makes sense. I would like to see that one. We know how it ends, but, it'll be interesting to see Triple G come up against a bigger man and, see what Eubank's got in his locker. And that's the fight he's looking for, really. After losing to Groves, it's got to be something exciting to get him back in there. Otherwise, people have just lost belief in him. If he showed up and showed out against Triple G, that would be like a career turn for Chris Eubank. My other wild card is Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Why? He's the second biggest Mexican star. Obviously, we don't believe in him anymore after Canelo beat him up. And just the shambles that's been his career for the last few months. But put him in there with Triple G. He's got a lot of size on Triple G. And he's got the Mexican warrior spirit. He's got heart at the end of the day. You can never really... Okay, he might take a beating, but he's going to stand there and take it. He's not throwing towels in, and he's not, finding a way out of fights or asking the doctor to have a second look at him. Julio Cesar Chavez will come to fight. And I think Julio Cesar Chavez, his size causes a few problems, but Triple G outboxes him. But the Mexican fans are happy because, you got a Mexican fighter gracing the stage. A Mexican fighter that's fitting of the stage, gracing the stage. And, I think you could do a lot worse than that. But that was my order of preference. I think if no one else, first Jamal Charlo, if not him, maybe Demetrius Andrade or Billy Joe Saunders. You can switch the order on that one. But I only put Saunders so low because I want to see Saunders and the winner of Triple G and Canelo in a fight with a proper build-up, not a fight accidentally made. Then who do I put next? I put Eubank and Chavez Jr. Let me know what fights you would like to see. Let me know what fighters you'd like to see step in. But I think that is a pretty good list. I mean, the guys who are unavailable are unavailable. They got fights scheduled and they got their own career plans or they're fighting for things. They're hardly going to just put that down and go in against Triple G on 3-4 weeks notice. That's not going to happen. But of the realistic options, I think I've made a pretty good list. Facts Only Boxing.